A whole Sunday devoted to animals. It is this pastor's dream Sunday. But it's not because it's just a passion of mine, the animals, but because the animals have played such an important part in our Bible. We heard in our song today that the animals are blessed because Jesus was born among them. He wasn't born in a castle or some fancy home or in a hospital somewhere. He was born with the animals gathered around by him. And we know that in the Old Testament how important the animals were. Not only were they important for the work of the slaves, not only were they important for sustaining life by feeding, but they also were important to the Jews at Passover, when the lamb's blood was placed upon the top of the door frames of all the Jewish families so that death would pass them by. Animals are an important part of who we are. One of the Lord's first miracles was the feeding of the 5,000 plus with fishes. Where would that story be without the fishes? We hear our own Lord being called the Lamb of God. The Lamb who sacrificed his life for us and for all of our four-footed and feathered friends and things that creep and crawl upon this earth. God created them all. And today we need to celebrate the gift of those animals. Think how different your life would be if you had no cows to tend, no cows to milk, no fish to catch out of the river on a Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Randy, your life would be turned upside down. You wouldn't be able to go fishing anymore. And that Randy would be so sad. And I would be so sad to pass all those fields and see those beautiful cows here in Nebraska. In Wyoming, it was horses and antelope. And what a pleasure and what a blessing it is to see those creatures living among us. In Thailand, what would they do without the elephant? The elephant is not only something that is needed for work to be performed by still so many Thai people, but let's face it, they are also a tourist attraction that helps these poor cities and villages have funds to maintain their roads, their sanitation. All these animals are important. Where would our space program be if we didn't have the monkey who went up to show us that you could survive leaving the bounds of our world? They never would have sent a man up without first that monkey. I am just sure of it. We have so much to be thankful for the gift of these beautiful animals that are all around us. For the turkeys that you think are just so annoying and I love. And for the big white and brown turkeys in Thailand I also love. We should be thankful. And I know that the Buster sits underneath the pew because he is so frightened. Because some person or persons was so cruel to him that he fears the rest of us. But he knows that he's safe with Sharon and Jim. It breaks my heart and it warms my heart that Sharon worked and worked to get that young man to come into her vehicle and take him home with her so that he wouldn't be in the streets anymore or lying on snow piles, not because he wanted to, but because he had no home. That tears up my heart, and I am thankful for the love that Jim and Sharon have for animals, and that for all of you have for animals. Otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here today oinking and barking and all the other beautiful sounds that are coming out of you this morning. No, our friends with 4 feet or no feet and only wings, we must give thanks for, and we must preserve them. And on this Sunday, I invite you to just truly think about that. Perhaps you know a friend who has a companion animal, or you know someone who has been helped because they were rescued by a dog in the time of tragedy. I know in the hurricane of Michael, they have dogs searching from last week when the tsunami hit in Indonesia. I knew it started with an I. They have had search dogs, rescue dogs out there trying to find, even though they're dead, the bodies of people's loved ones. They give us so much. And if they weren't so important, I don't think God would have put them in the Bible. They are important creatures in our lives in ways we never even thought of. So today, just stop and give thanks and praise to God our Father for the beautiful gift of the creatures around us. Oink, oink. I invite